but when you're in business and you're trying to make a lot of money, that's a characteristic that you want to have, the kind of humility that he has. But then once you show it to him, and once he learns and masters what you shared with him, then look out, because he's going to take it to an entirely new level. I mean, this man, at our age, challenged me to a break dance duel. Okay. I mean, there was nothing for me. If I got down on the ground, I would not be getting back up. This man is in such, physical condition. He literally can still do a breakdance duel. And I say that because he takes that same amount of energy and focus, tenacity and passion, and he's put it forth with building his Melaleuca team. And now the great thing about this incredible business, and I don't know, I want to make this a conversation more than a presentation, because if there's someone that I can help on the line, I'm still growing in Melaleuca. I'm one of those. I've been in network marketing 25-6. Okay. So, and here's what I mean 25-6. 25-6 is, over the last 25 years, I've been involved in and around different network marketing companies, but I've really only done network marketing about 6 years out of that 26 years. 6 years out of that 25 years. And I've earned a few $1 million in the industry, but Melaleuca, I've gotten a little older. My network has gotten a little bit mature. So like many of you, I find myself actually starting over, because this is actually when I decided to get back into the industry a number of years ago, which about 5 years ago. So in the last 5 years, I've tried 5 different companies, and none of them lasted more than 90 days. After 90 days, I kind of said, "Oh no, this is not going to work." And you know what that's like. Some of you, it's kind of like dating. I don't know why I always draw everything as an analogy to dating. If you've been dating somebody 90 days, whether that deal is a keeper, or you're like, okay, we're just biding time. I'm just waiting till that right time that I can escape. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's what I akin building your or making a decision on a company in this industry to build is just like that. So what I did, so I dabbled in several other companies, but when I got to Melaleuca, I said, oh my goodness gracious, I have finally found the company that I believe I can be with basically for the rest of my life. So I've been here since October, and it's been absolutely a fun ride. But I tell you, if I had known what I'm about to share with you right now back in October, I would probably be a lot further along than I am now. See, my enroller, Eric and Tammy Watson, and it looks like they're on the Zoom as well. When they came after me, we were in another company together that Victor and I were also in, and they kept telling me about Melaleuca, and I was like, I was not interested. And it took them about 3 or 4 months for them to finally get me to take a look at the business. And then when I made a decision to come over, then I got a call from Victor, and he had come over, and I said, my goodness gracious, this is the best kept secret I've ever seen on creating wealth. And that's what I look at this as, an incredible wealth creation opportunity. And so the biggest tool that I found, and probably one of the most underutilized tools that we have, are the 8 steps that are at our Melaleuca website, but many of us don't use them. And we really need to use these 8 steps. And in these 8 steps, it houses the 7 critical activities the 7 critical business activities that everybody on your team should know backwards and forwards if they're going to build this Melaleuca business. Okay? And we're going to go into those, but you can write these down. And you should, you know, if you don't know these, then we're going to know them. Hopefully, you're going to commit them to memory after tonight. And the first of those 7 critical business activities is you have to create a list. Now, I know everybody, this is, you know, one-on-one for everybody who's on the line, but we're going to talk about ways to create a list that might be, you know, a cut above, okay? And so to help you understand, there's actually an art to making a list. There's an art to making a list. There's a disposition to making a list. And when you're making a list, you've got to make your list with goals in mind. See, many people make a list and they really kind of do it haphazardly. So we're going to make sure that they understand that there is absolutely an art to why and how you make a list, okay? So creating a list, that's going to be number 1. Number 2 is going to be setting the appointment. Now, think about this. Check this out. You know, Amanda or any of the ladies on the line, you know, again, you know, here I go back to, you know, dating. Now, imagine if there is, I don't, you know, I'm not talking about if you're married. I'm just talking about if you're single, if you're married. What if it was that hot guy that you were really, really, really interested in? And, you know, you said, man, I mean, you did everything. You looked at him, you kind of looked at him out of the corner of your eye. You might work in the same environment. And then one day you got his number. And you said, man, okay, I'm moving forward. But after you have gotten his number, or gentlemen, after you've gotten that lady's number, it's time to set a date, right? I mean, think about this. How many people are looking to date someone, they get their phone number, and then they don't make a date? Okay, that's what it's like when you make a list and then you don't set an appointment to have a presentation done. That's like getting a phone number and then you stop right there. I mean, it's a person you've been wanting to date all your life, okay? You get that number and then you don't make a date. So what happens is creating your list, number 1. Number 2, okay, setting that appointment. Number 3, doing an overview. After you do an overview, you've got to do a strategy session. Then after you do a strategy session, you and your upline should celebrate. You got to celebrate the victories of getting that new enrollment, okay? And then after you've celebrated, after you've gotten that new enrollment, you got to understand how to execute fast track. Fast track is probably one of the things, if you're not executing it in your business on a regular basis, is probably what's slowing your organization down. And then lastly, you got to lead by example by basically going back and doing steps 1 through 6. Okay, so we're going to jump right now. I'm going to share the screen, and then we're going to go right to your Melaleuca back office. And right here, this is the billion. Think about it, Melaleuca. This is a company as a almost $3 billion company by the end of this year. Okay, we're heading to $3 billion, and what you want to do is you want to be a part of that upside. Okay, so we're headed to a $3 billion company. You want to be a part of that upside, and the way you're going to do it is you're going to do it by mastering this first tab under Business Center, under Reports and Tools, right here, under Reports and Tools, the Getting Started tab. You have to master that, okay? Right here, Getting Started. Now, everybody knows that your new enrollee has to watch the Foundations video if they want to qualify to get paid Pacesetter bonuses, okay? So everybody's got that. You've got to make sure. Now, this is a step that many people kind of think is a passé step. You've got to really have a conversation with your new enrollee to find out why they're doing it. Here's why. Because if your enrollee says that they're, kind of getting involved and they're really just trying to make about $2 or $3 or $500, there's no need to really put the $10,000 a month pressure on that person, okay? Because they're saying they're not there yet, okay? So you want to kind of listen to what they're saying when you get their why, okay? What is it that they're trying to achieve? Now, if they do say that they want the $10,000 a month income, then you really when you do the strategy session, you've got to say, okay, now, if you want that to happen, and a great part about the information right here in these 8 steps, if you're doing this. Now, here's the thing. When you when you enroll a new person, what I see a lot of people do is they get excited, they enroll them, and they leave them. Folks, let me tell you why that's the biggest mistake. That's the biggest mistake, because at the point a person enrolls, they place their order. You have their undivided attention. Then you tell them, "Oh, I'll see you tomorrow. There's a webinar. Get 4 or 5 people in that webinar tomorrow, and good luck." That is one of the largest mistakes, one of the gravest mistakes that I see people doing. Once you have that, yes, okay, it might have taken you a while to get them enrolled. 30, 45 minutes, I don't know what the time frame was that it took you to get those people enrolled, but that is at the point in which, I'm going to drop some bombs on you tonight. That is at the point in which you should say, look here, I know that we just got you enrolled and it may have taken X amount of time. I need another hour. Now, you may or may not be able to do it based upon their schedule, but you got to ask for it, okay? Because that is the time at which you need to indoctrinate them, ingrain them in these 8 steps. But you cannot indoctrinate them and ingrain. You can see I'm getting a little fired up, y'all. I don't know if Victor told y'all that's going to start to happen. It's going to ratchet up just a little bit. Okay. All right. So we'll bring it back down, but we're going to ratchet up just a little bit. Okay. So you've got to, at this point, you've got to indoctrinate them. But here's the problem. Many people, you can't do it because you haven't been indoctrinated. You haven't indoctrinated yourself in these 8 steps. To indoctrinate yourself after the hour, that's just an introduction. But to really indoctrinate yourself in these 8 steps, it's going to take you about 7 days. Folks, there's incredible information with people who are millionaires and multi-millionaires. Now think about this. People pay coaches millions of dollars to say, I'm going to fly to go see Tony Robbins. I'm going to fly to go see XYZ. You got people in here like Alan Pariser, who's made well over $1 million a year, sometimes multiple millions every year for the last 20 years in Melaleuca, the business that you're trying to build, and you don't even take 20 minutes to watch a video. Now listen, let me drop this nugget on you right here. I'm just gonna blow everybody's mind. Now this guy right here, Alan Pariser, and he's right here in this in the court. We're going to get to this step, okay? Critical activity number 6. Now that's critical activity number 6 of the 7. I'm jumping ahead, but guys, this guy Alan Pariser has been with Melaleuca well over 20 years. This guy has made well over $1 million every single year for the last 20 years in this business that you're spending your time in, and you don't know every word that he's about to say on this video, you haven't taken your time to execute. It's only an hour, 48 minutes. Now, you'll get on, you'll go listen and listen. I mean, all kind of other activities. This guy in Melaleuca cumulatively has made probably over $30 million in this business, and you don't know every single word that's about to come out of his mouth? Okay, maybe it's just me. Okay, Vic, I'm gonna calm it back down. I get a little excited. Brandy, I'm gonna bring it back down just a little bit. Okay,
Hold on.
but I'm jumping ahead. But this is to be effective. To be effective at understanding people's why, you got to indoctrinate. You need to spend, and not 7 days, all at once, but each one of these you need to spend a day on. Whatever time you have, 2 or 3 hours, whatever your day. I know everybody has a job. Whatever time you allocate toward your Melaleuca business, hour, 2 or 3 hours a day, whatever it is, once a week for the next 7 weeks, give each one of these and what I did, now in these, you're going to find out, like when you create your strategy session, now here's the thing. When you do, and after you, so you got that person enrolled, you have to have gone through these to be able to spend that hour. Now, it may have taken you an hour to get them enrolled, especially if they decided that they want to go a la carte on their order and they want to read every product at the website, okay? So you're going to be patient there. They don't choose a package, all right? So it's going to make, but folks, don't get excited then. You're getting excited at the wrong thing. Don't get excited that they enrolled. Get excited after they do the homework. Y'all, it went right over people's head. Okay, all right. Let me back up. Don't get excited, okay, when a person decides that they're going to buy some product that they were going to buy anyway. They haven't made any sacrifice, okay? They were going to buy some soap, some detergent, some mouthwash, some toothpaste from somebody. It just happened to be from you tonight. That's not when you get excited. When you want to get excited is when you say, now, we've got a few plans here. After we've discussed your why, you want to start getting excited when you say, now, I explained to you that our first goal is to help you to get your first enrollee. And then after that, we want to make sure that we get you to director. Director is, we help you get your first 8 enrollees involved with Melaleuca, okay? So now we want to get that done this month. It's the 14th of the month. We can do, one person every other day, one person every few days, and we can still get you to director by the end of this month, okay? And so now you show them the income and then the steps. Now, you have to get these forms printed out. So when you're talking to them, if possible, all right? Now, as we go through these steps, I've gone through I've printed out every page in every one of these tabs, okay? Now, when my new person that I bring on board starts doing the homework, now we're going to start getting a little excited, okay? Now we're going to start thinking, well, maybe I got something. But see, if we start doing the homework and they start saying, well, I'll get back with you next month, or, I just don't have time for, about 6 years. Folks, you just enrolled a customer, okay? Even though they might have said that they want to be a marketing executive, that is a customer, okay? Until such a time that they decide they're ready to do the homework. Now, after you right here, you put this in writing. You make the schedule. How many overviews are we going to do with me, your enroller, okay? And how many in-homes are we going to do? And then how many people are we going to get on a webcast? Now, right here it says fill in the blanks with the first 10 contacts that you want to talk to. Now, as this starts to fill up with names, we got our enrollee commitment date. Everybody, we're partnership in this now. We're starting to get down the road. This is a signature and a date. I would venture to say that none of us, including me, has a commitment from a person who's espousing that they want to make a certain amount of money with Melaleuca. It's a two-way street, okay? So we're trying to get, now here's the thing. Building the Melaleuca right here, business, here's the problem that most people have. It's a repetitive process. Folks, this is the most boring, lucrative business you'll ever be a part of. Warren Buffett, the reason why he's built Berkshire Hathaway to be the giant behemoth, one of the most admired companies and stocks on the stock exchange, is because he fell in love 60 years ago with doing the boring, repetitive stuff. Okay? The same activities over and over again. Now, you don't want to let your new enrollee know this. Folks, it's right here on the very first document that they should sign with you. Now, that's if they have a printer available. You have a printer, you can make that happen. But if not, you can't do it the first night. You'll get to it, okay? And so what you have here is understanding this is just document number one. Still not time to get excited. Now, we've done something. We're moving in the right direction, all right? Now we've said, okay, this person is committed to, they want to get to director this month, and it shows how much they would have made. Now, the next form here is getting to director 3 in 90 days. Now, at that point, they've made about $4,000. Now here's the thing. You're going to need to fill out the first page, okay, that we just did to get them to director. And then now we're going to need to continuously do the homework on folks, this is the business plan. See, this is what's not being done. So folks, here's when you're going to be successful with Melaleuca. One of the reasons why Jefferson Green has made $1.4 million in 12 months is because one thing you have to understand, this is a business. You have to inspect what you expect. Now think about this. How many of you on the line are managers?
Doing it fast.
Okay? In your particular jobs, in your particular capacity, most every one of you have jobs where there's paperwork involved. Some kind of tracking of the activity, because the company has to know that everybody is doing certain tasks for the company to stay on schedule to meet its goals weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually. You've got to be about doing the exact same thing with your team. Now, again, I didn't do this when I started. I'm just starting to get this going right now. But folks, everybody who comes on board with me from this day forward, we're going to go through and we're going to do a little homework. Now, we still aren't in the business of getting excited. But let me tell you when you can start getting excited. You can start getting excited when you can look back over 30 days And you can see that in their first 30 days, they've got 30 or 40 people that have basically had a presentation, okay, done. They've gone through the 7 critical activities. They've been enrolled, whether they're 1, 2, or 3, and the homework is being done. There's a lot more detail. We're going to go into a few more documents here, but starting out with number 1, this is where most people fail. Most people fail because, now here's the thing, going forward, when I begin to work with a person, I need this list from them. Now, they don't have to send this list to me. We can do a FaceTime and they can just show me that it's complete. But I'm going to start refusing to work with anybody who does not have a list that we're working from. Oh, now y'all wouldn't. Now I think I just lost somebody. Okay, I think I just lost somebody, folks. I'm going to begin to not work with people if they don't bring their homework. Because, and here, it's easy to fill these forms out, to get names here. Because right here, if a person, if they don't or haven't done it on their own, all they got to do, you can sit there with them. They can just say, okay, write down, while we're talking, all of the people, your parents, your siblings, your godparents, whoever they might be, start writing down friends. I mean, hopefully that'll take a long time right there. Hopefully that won't be a short, list of friends. Cousins, uncles, aunts, neighbors, acquaintances, carpool. Folks, I'm going to begin to say, you know what? Before we can even begin to work together, Melissa, before we can even begin to work together, Deb, before we can even begin to work together, Sue, I need to see 100 names written down right here, or we're not working together. How many of you think you're bold enough to do that? How many of you think that that would make a difference in your business? Now, what would it mean? It would mean that you would have some people who would say, hey, Damon, I don't know 100 people. I can't imagine that there is any grown person that after you've gone through this category of 100 categories, this list of 100 categories, that you wouldn't come up with 100 names. Would you agree or disagree? I want to take a break and just get a little feedback from the audience. Chime in. So what do you think about that, Amy? Would you be able to do that? Would you be able to say, you know what? Steve, we just got going and, we're fired up. We know we're about to do this thing, but, we need you to have a business plan if you're going to be successful. And what I need you to do is to get this started right. You don't have to fax me these names. I don't need to have them, but we can do a FaceTime. I just need to see that you've actually taken the time to write the names down here. Now, you don't really have to put the phone numbers down because I know they're in your phone or what have you, but we will make notes after each contact, the date we contacted them, and the date we plan to do the follow-up. So give me a little feedback from anybody out there if you think that is if you think that would be a problem for you to do, or you think that actually may help you to get your business going. Unmute yourself, anybody.
You'd have to be a troll not to know 100 people out of that list.
All right, who's that?
Tim.
Tim, okay, all right. I agree with you, Tim. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think it should be easy for everybody to do.
All right. And who was that?
Liz.
Liz. Okay. All right. So the deal is, for some people, it's going to be easier than others. But if you actually have somebody that does it, now you can begin to get excited. Everybody see where I'm going? Let's get excited when we have somebody who says they want to make money, who says they want to build a business, and they actually start doing the business building activities so that we know. So the deal is, if you're contacting a person, or if you think that, if you're sitting there, and how many of you enrolled someone and you're saying, man, I haven't talked to Liz in 3 or 4 days. Well, you don't even know if Liz put her list down. You just told Liz to get on our 8 o'clock webinar and try to get 2 or 3 guests on. You don't know if Liz has done any of the activity. This is the income producing activity right here. This is inspecting what you expect. Okay? So this is, now, you can do this. You can even go back with people on your team who you've enrolled months ago and say, look, we got to start this thing all over again. If you're saying you want to be successful, if I'm saying I want to be successful, I have to fill this out, show my enroller, Eric and Tammy Watson, who are on the line, and say, look, here's my names. Here's my list of 100 names. Here's my list of 200 names. Here's my list of 300 names. So we know that we have the necessary business building material to get us to the next level, which is setting appointments. See, the reason why you've enrolled people that are not engaging you to set appointments, you haven't done your job. Uh-oh. Now, when I say you, I'm talking about you, we, us, okay? This is what's critical right here. You have to do step 1 effectively. Step 2, getting them to critical activity. Folks, you can't get to critical activity number 3, which is having an overview done, if you've not set the appointment. You can't get the appointment set if you've not made the list. So you've got to get fanatical about the income producing activity. This is the stuff. This is where the millions are made, right here. This is the difference between the people who make millions and the people who make hundreds. There's a difference in lifestyle, okay? They tell me when you start making millions, your library card changes, okay? You get a library card in a more upscale neighborhood, okay? So what happens, critical activity number 2, which is setting an appointment. Now, the great part about right here is in here, they actually have scripts. Have you ever enrolled someone and they say, well, I don't know what to say to people? Anybody ever had that happen? Yeah, people say, well, can you, well, the great thing about it, let's take time. Okay, right here, Amanda, if you do me a favor, if you read that paragraph right here for me. I don't know if you can unmute yourself or not. If you would, read this right here for me, Amanda, if you don't mind.
What starts with before I make a call?
Yes, ma'am.
Before I make a call, I remind myself that this person is already some other company's customer. So they don't currently buy elsewhere. In other words, they really need Melaleuca products, and in most cases, a Melaleuca business as well. In fact, they'll be healthier with our products and better off financially should they build a business.
Boom! That is a bomb!
Don't talk to them first.
You got a bad connection. You got a bad connection, Amanda.
Someone else will.
Okay, you got a bad connection. Folks, now look at this. How many people are scared, trepidatious. They're like, man, I don't know what I should be saying to people. Folks, you're doing them a favor. They're going to spend the money anyway. You should let them, folks, look, listen. They're right here. They're somebody else's customer. They're going to the local Piggly Wiggly. They're going to Target. They're going to Giant. They're going to Safeway. They're going to Kroger. Whatever you look, they're somebody else's customer with the same money. The same money. They're going to spend it. What are you afraid of? Do not be afraid. You're helping them. Okay?
Let's take it off.
All right? So, Amy, if you're off mute, can you read that for me right here? Amy not there. What about Melissa? Melissa there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, Melissa, if you can read that for me.
The blue part or your purpose part?
I'm sorry, right here.
Okay, cool. Your purpose is simply to set an appointment, nothing more and nothing less. Keep your call quick and casual. Hey, can I have 45 minutes of your time so I can show you what I'm doing? Do you have some time tomorrow at lunch, or would Thursday night be better? When you make an invitation, you've just aroused their curiosity, but you don't want to get stuck trying to explain everything about Melaleuca over the phone. So instead, immediately shift the focus over to when they can meet. I don't have time to talk about it right now, but I'll tell you all about it when we get together, what time will work for you.
Folks, if you're not busy enough with your team, us, me included, if we're not busy enough, we haven't done our job. We haven't shown them how to set the appointment. We haven't shown them how to make a list. We haven't demanded that they present the list before we get started. Folks, you're working in the dark. You sign, you enroll somebody, and then you sit back and you hope and pray, God, I hope this is one who's serious. God, I hope this is one who's going to take this. God, I hope this is one who's going to do all the work that I don't have to do. No, doesn't work that way. You got to invest something. You got to put something in to get something out. You got to invest. But it's right here for us. Young person, if you got a person and they know all this, fine. But if they don't know all this, it's our job to go through these scripts with them. Okay? If you want one based on the Freiberg study, can you hit this one for me again, Melissa?
Sorry, I'm here.
No problem.
Okay, based on the Freiberg study, once I've gotten to know them, I'll ask, what supplements do you use that complement your nutrition? Or what supplements do you use to increase your strength in the gym? They might say, well, I don't really take any, or I'm not seeing many results from the ones I'm taking. Then I can say, well, I'd love to show you what can help you see better results. I'd like to show you the science behind some really good nutritionals that can improve your fitness level in the gym or aid in your ability to lose weight. Then show them the milligrams, and that usually opens up the door to a full presentation.
Okay, if that is your strength, okay, the gym conversation, then you can have that. You've even got a general script, okay, right here. Hey, John, I'm excited about a new business that my wife and I recently started. We love it because we get to work from home. We're looking for some people to partner with, and I'd love to show you what we're doing to see if it might make sense for you. Go back. All you're trying to do at that point, I don't have time to talk about it now. I just need about 45 minutes. When is better for you? Tuesday night or Thursday morning? Which one is better for you? Just need about 45 minutes. Set the appointment. Now, when you have a team of people who are setting the appointments, so two things happen. I'm really getting ready to blow you away with this one. You might want to get 10 pens and 10 pieces of paper, okay? Let me tell you why your phone is not blowing up with your team with enrollments. With appointments. Because you are not setting appointments with your enroller. Uh-oh. Boom! See what happens, we begin to get what we actually do. Because you can't emphasize it to someone else if it's not a habit that you have developed. See, once you have developed a habit and a skill set of you've made your list, you're working from your list, you're setting appointments, and you and your enroller are doing one appointment a day, one appointment every other day, 3 appointments a day, whatever the number is, okay? If you're doing that with your enroller, if you got somebody who wants to do business, you can walk them through these steps, and the ones that actually execute these steps, now again, you can start to say, you know what? I think it's a little bit time. I think it's time that I can start getting a little more excited because I have someone who's actually doing the income producing activities. Okay? And so now, whatever it might be,
I'm in the wrong room.
I think
I'm supposed to be in the room for directive 3 through 5.
did I just turn a video on?
I hear it.
Okay, let me see how I get back to that video.
3 through 5. You know, I think if I had my way, this title, any title to what someone might speak to, the title might be here.
There we go. Now I'm gonna turn it off. Okay.
Made the foundation.
Which one of these videos did I turn off?
I don't know. I hear it still.
Oh Lord.
It's the one with Eddie Bestoso. I don't know which one that one is, but it's Eddie who's talking.
Okay. All right. I'll just come out of it and then come back into it all together. All right. Great. All right. So now ports and tools. Ports and tools. All right. Getting started. Okay. All right. So while we're getting back here, but does everybody understand that all of us, as we are getting into a massive habit of doing these steps ourselves, that's when your business is going to grow. When you have made the list, when you have a massive number of, you should have a calendar with a massive number of appointments set. Okay? Let's go back here. And so what we need to have, actually we can go back even here to in your strategy session, contact list. Okay, so it can be here, building the list. We'll come back to it, but right here, you should have a calendar. And it should be full. And I've got it right here. It's one of these. It's down in one of these other forms. But you should have a calendar where you have the number of Okay. All right. Here it is right here. So this calendar. So everybody should have this calendar right here printed off. Okay. And in this calendar, you should be sharing this with your enroller. These are the times, or you can take a snapshot of it, whatever. Let's fill it up with appointments. Fill it up with appointments. So fill it up ahead of time. This is where your money's being made, guys. See, if you're filling this up yourself with appointments that you're going to do with your enroller, when you enroll someone and they want to know what to do, what will you tell them? You need to fill this up and then share with me, these are the appointments that you and I are going to do for you. Because see, I have this filled up myself for appointments that me and my enroller are going to do for me. But if we're not doing this ourselves, it's practically impossible to get the people we enroll to do the same. But yet we sit back and we hope and pray. Folks, hope is a strategy. It's just not a very good one when it comes to business. Okay? So you want to make sure that you fill that calendar up to get to right here, sharing the Melaleuca overview. All right, now I'm about to I think I'm about to lose a bunch of people right here. All right. All right, now this is what people are going to start saying, Victor, you've gone too far getting this guy Damon on the line. You have just absolutely gone too far. All right? So here's what I'm about to say. If you have somebody that you have enrolled and you've let them go 30 days without mastering a Melaleuca overview, you are wrong. I know people are about to say, Victor, get rid of that guy. He is. If you folks, this is critical activity number 3. You can't get to, and no. Rebecca and everybody else doing your webinars on Tuesday, Sunday, and Thursday, that's not going to build your business. That's not going to build your business. What's going to build your, everybody's going to take advantage of that. Everybody should take advantage of that. But right here, Melaleuca has it. If you want to become one of these Melaleuca millionaires, you have to master. Now, it's not difficult to master it. It's right here. Critical activity number 3. The Melaleuca overview. All you have to do is read the script. Okay? All you have to do to become an expert at the Melaleuca overview is just go to the business overview tab. We'll go to it in a minute. And just actually read the script verbatim. Very simple. You've got all kinds of examples right here of people doing the Melaleuca overview. Okay? They've even got a tips and hint guide. Now, and what do I mean by, if you have a person that has been in for 30 days, and if they do not know the compensation plan backwards and forward, that's your fault. You cannot make money in Melaleuca if you're not training people to know the compensation plan backwards and forward. That's a part of the comp plan. It's right, and they have it. If you need a cheat sheet of verbiage, they have it right here. That means the person is going to need to take a little time, okay, right here with the information, but they've broken it down for us like baby food, okay? Every slide, if we need verbiage, is right there. There's no reason any one of the people that we enroll within 30 days, if they say they want to really build a serious Melaleuca business, the verbiage is right here, guys, for every slide. And I tell people, just read the slide verbatim. They're going to need to spend a little time with these slides. So if they're going to really seriously be about building the business, that's critical activity number 3 of 7, doing the Melaleuca overview. All right. Now, after you've done an overview, the next step, the strategy session, is there because it is assumed that you successfully enroll the person. But when you successfully enroll them, now is time to do the strategy session. Now is time to go back to these sheets that we initially talked about and start getting names written down. Start getting dates that we're going to fill in on our calendar to set and do appointments. We're going to start, you may even just, when I bring you, if I enroll you, Nicole, one of the first things I'm going to do is take you right here to Business Center. We're going to go, first of all, I'm going to say, okay, let's log out. I need you to go set up a Zoom account. We're going to log into your Zoom account because I want you to begin to get the process of this down right away. I want, send me your password because this is what I'm going to expect you to do with your new prospects. Send me your ID number. I'm going to log into your Zoom account. Then I'm going to walk you to going right here to the Melaleuca overview. Your website, reports and tools. And we're going to go right here to building your Melaleuca business. We're going to pop open the first PDF, and I'm going to say, Nicole, I don't want you to be a hero or a shero. I just need you to read every slide verbatim. And I'm going to just sit there and be, no, Nicole, I don't want you ad-libbing, okay? I know you do this every day on your job. I know you're perfect with this. But Nicole, so we can get through this, is going to take a little time. This is part of my initial strategy session. Why? Because I know within 30 days, see, understand, you write this down. This is critical. You got to see the end of the movie at the beginning of the movie. Okay, that went over somebody's head. You've got to see the end of the movie at the beginning of the movie. What does that mean? What does that look like? For me, what that looks like, I know I have a Melaleuca business when I have trained 100 people that can just read these slides to people and understand a compensation plan at the end. I've done my job. I have a business now. So if you haven't trained people on, and they don't have to go out and do a memorized presentation. I mean, Rebecca Garrett, I call that a freelance presentation. Everybody can't do a freelance presentation. Not day one. Everybody can aspire to do that and get to that. But everybody can just read the words on this page. And I just have them now. This is going to take about an hour for them to read through every one of these slides verbatim all the way through the compensation plan. Okay? This is my strategy session. We're doing this. Why? Because I need you to be a presenter post haste. Okay? I need you to be a presenter. It is critical activity number 3. How in the world can you honestly tell people that they can be successful in Melaleuca and they can't do a Melaleuca presentation where all they have to do is read the slides? Okay? Critical activity number 3. Number 4, critical activity, doing a strategy session. Everything we've just talked about for the last hour is a strategy session. Everybody just saw that's the strategy session. Making the list, making sure they put the name, setting the appointment, understanding that there's scripts right here if they get stuck. Okay? Appealing to whatever their strengths are. Now, we also, critical activity number 5, yes, we're going to celebrate the success. If I'm doing a strategy session with you, the success that we're going to celebrate is that we've set some appointments. Here's the strategy. Here's what I want to begin to celebrate. We actually have, and you'll print this out, the monthly tracking form. All of these forms are right here in all these tabs. So you're going to have to take some time. We're going to go through all of them tonight. Okay, it's the monthly tracking form. And it says right here, who's your prospect, the number of dollars you made, the number of approaches, the number of appointments that were set. Okay, talks about right here the overviews that were given, enrollments completed, if you enrolled them with the home conversion pack. This is business. This is doing business. Now we start to get this complete. Now, guess what? Now it's time to get excited. Not just because you enrolled somebody. Not because you it's great that you got promo qualified, but if you're actually looking to make some money, build a business, when you have an enrollee who can come back and they actually done this homework, now you got a business. Now, and not just one person, when you got multiple people. But guess what? This is going to happen for your team when you personally start doing this with your enrollment.
Hello?
It's not going to happen for your team until you go back to your enroller and say, this is what we're working on from now on. This is what we're working from, okay? Right here, I've the calendar, mix it up in here somewhere that I pulled out just a moment ago, okay? Here, we have appointments set. Now we got a business. Now we're getting ready to get real excited. And then we're going to start celebrating success. Now, you've got to listen to this right here. This is participating with Fast Track. Alan Parisert and many other teams have been doing Fast Track for decades. And the way they do their particular Fast Track is every Monday. They have a Fast Track they do every month. And many of them have not missed a month of doing Fast Track 10, 15, 20 years. And what the way they do it is everybody who's going to participate just puts in $20, and they have a person who they send all the money to, and that $20, and with the amount that they accumulate every month from all the participants, and they have different categories. You'll get it when you listen to this video right here in Fast Track. What they do is, and let's say that you can, being promo qualified, or who made a director first, or who did whatever. With your budget, you can say, here's how much we're going to award to each one of these categories. Everybody sends their $20 in, and depending upon how much you come up with, that is how much you will give away that month for each one of those categories. So what happens and what it does is $20 is not a lot of money, but guess what? If the category you win is $200, okay, because you said, okay, the first person to make a director this month gets $200. If you had that that much amount in your kitty, then that person won $200 that month. So it can begin to add up for the workers. Now, what's going to happen if a person is contributing their $20 and they're not winning in the categories? Everybody can. You got to go to work. So one thing is going to happen. Either they're going to go to work and start winning, some of the categories, or they're going to get, defeated, and they're going to disappear, and they're not going to participate. Okay? Either way, you're fine because you're trying to run with the runners. Okay? This right here is absolutely key. You can run this in the way they have it set up. Everybody can do it. Everybody who wants to build a business can contribute $20 a month or $20 a week, whatever it is that you set up with your team. And then after that, you've got to begin to lead by example. How do you lead by example? leading by example is you going back up here to critical activity number 1, you making your list, okay, showing your enroller that you got your list out, and begin to set appointments. To set appointments to do overviews and to do strategy sessions. That is the 7 critical business activities. Open for any questions. Go right ahead.
Well, me and Brandy sitting here like we haven't done anything. Thank you for that, Dave. We feel great. No, I mean, guys, I don't even know what to say right now. I mean, he explained a little of this to us the other day, and I was like, you have to get on and explain this to my group. And basically, what it is, we're not wasting any time with people, because sometimes we want to focus on the people who are not doing the things they need to do, and we let the people who are slip by, and that's not something I want to do. So I'm just blown away right now.
Thank you, partner. Thank you.
Damon. Hey, it's Red. How are you?
Hey, Red.
How are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
Super good. Hey, I just want to say thanks so much for your time and what this taught me right now. I mean, first off, thank you so much for your time. We've been driving for about an hour, so we've been listening in and out. But the thing that I got the most from you was the fact that there's a lot that I haven't done. But instead of knocking myself on my ass and being pissed off, it's like, all right, write the shit down that you haven't done and get it done and get a plan. So thank you so much for bringing some things up, overviews. And I should, and there's no excuse for it. So I get myself where I'm going to start tonight going through it. So thank you so much for that. I really, really do appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. And think about, here's the thing I love about this. There's a lot of different ways that people can and may do the business. The reason I like this is because it's duplicatable. Why? Because it's right here in everybody's back office. Nobody has to go recreate the wheel. Everything is right here from the people who've been doing it with this company. And what it's showing you is Melaleuca is not happening by mistake. It's happening via a plan. And the plan is rolling down. Melaleuca is saying, we need the newest enrollee to the most seasoned marketing executive for us all to be on the same page. And then they take the best practices. That's really what this is. Many of you in the government at different paths, career paths, and many, a buzzword in many career paths is something they call best practices. And what Melaleuca has just simply done here is they've taken the best practices of their most successful marketing executives. And I mean, how long? It won't be very long before, of course, Jefferson Green is probably going to have a video in every one of these tabs, by this time next year, because they're going to definitely want the best practices of the fastest growing business in the history of the company. But what you have right here, you have enough to make you a millionaire if you'll do the homework. But most importantly, folks, the 7 critical. So who can, jump in there? If I can call on you, I want the 7 critical business activities to see if anybody wrote them down. So I'm going to randomly pick somebody. So I'm going to say, Tim and Deb, can you give me the seven critical business activities? Did I lose Tim and Deb? Okay, what about Kathy? Come on, Kathy.
Can you hear me?
We'll hear you just fine.
I can't tell you because I joined late. So I actually just joined like 15 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Nicole, can you give me the 7 critical business activities? You know, I'm just randomly calling on people.
Okay, a list, appointment. I'm doing this from memory because I didn't write it down.
That's where we're all getting there.
Hold on, list, appointment, and then it's the overview. Then that's number 4.
You were getting ready to say it.
Number 4 is strategy session.
There you go. You're right on point.
Celebrating.
Yep. You're frozen.
Me now.
You got a bad connection. Give me 6 and 7.
Great success. Do you have that one?
Celebrate success. Number 5.
And then one of them is you go back and you do it again.
But that was 7. You go back.
And I forget the last.
And 6 was
crap. I forget.
Yep. 6 was
that's what it is.
Yep. Yep. 6 is fast track. And that's the one that once I think everybody begins to do this, you're going to start seeing. Now again, it may start off small, depending upon the size of your team. But as your team grows, this is going to get bigger and bigger, and then all of these are going to come together. And you know, you're going to see more and more people as your team incomes increase. Then you're going to also see their commitment level increase, and then they're going to get. You know, here's one of the forms that I like here is helping a person to identify what their first check is going to be. I mean, using this form, again, just go through and print out every form that is included in these tabs. And you can tell a person if they say they want to make $500, you can say, here's every step. They want to make $2,000. Here's every step. They want to make $4,000. Here's every step. And we're doing the tracking, so we've got a business. Now, again, we don't get excited anymore when people enroll. We now get excited when?
When they've done the homework.
When they've done the homework.
When there you go. When they start doing the homework, now it's time to get excited. Now it's time to say, you know what? I think we might actually have a business partner on our hand. If you got people, if they're not willing to do the homework, it's not a lot, but if they're not willing to do the homework, think about it. Many people, I got a bunch of friends who work in the government. A bunch of them, they don't work 8 hours a day. They got a good 4 hours a day where they're trying to figure out, something to do. Hey, they can be filling these forms out, okay, while they're on their job if they have such freedom of luxury. And you want to fall in love with people who are doing the work. Any questions? Okay. If not, Vic, I'll turn it back over to you. It's all yours.
There's nothing else to say, man. I mean, just we I'm sitting here like, wow, man. This was guys. This is what I'm talking about. You look at this guy and you're like, and then all of a sudden he just gets on here and wows you, man. Pretty amazing. I'm just flabbergasted right now, and I'm excited. I know I got some work to do, and I want to lead by example. I love that. Anybody else want to say anything? No?
Awesome.
Brandy's sitting here going, we got work to do.
Yeah, big time. We've been doing, it's funny because like I said, like Victor said, I feel like my mind is blown too a little bit. Like, we think we've been doing all this work and we haven't been doing anything. Like, I feel like, thanks a lot, Damon.
Hey, my pleasure. Hey, I gotta do it as well, guys.
Right.
You know, I have to do it as well. I've gotta, you know, put my list in a format in which, but you know, one of the things that that I'm going to endeavor to do, probably the one that's going to be probably the most important one, because I'm pretty good about making lists. I'll take a few hours and write hundreds of names down like it's nothing. But the here we go. This one right here, where you just have a calendar and all you're putting on here is you're scheduling times to do overviews with your enroller. This needs to be full. When this is full, and you got a team of people who are running around with this calendar full of appointments that they're going to do with the enroller. Man, that's when everybody's going to be making a lot of money.
Again, nothing to say, man. Just thank you. Man. That's all I have.
Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure, guys.
Thank you, guys, man. Big shout out to you, man. We appreciate you.
My pleasure.
All right, guys. Well, everybody, man, I'm still like speechless right now, and that's hard for me to not be able to talk. we all know that, right? But love you guys, man, and you know, I'm glad that we got this man on here, man, and if you guys could give him a big shout out, I appreciate that. Everybody, I hope you guys are ready, man. Give him a big shout out.
Damon, thank you. Thank you so much, Damon. Love you.
Thank
you. Thank you.
You guys have a good one.
you.
I'm
Great
All
info.
right.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.